Okay, I took my hairbrush and hair dryer, and dried the figure off real well. Get it in focus. Sorry about that, trying to get him in focus. Okay, so you can see how everything's looking after it's dried. Now I'm going to show you how I apply the AOR camo. When I first start with talking about brushes, I've mentioned this before. I use Winsor & Newton brushes for my detailing work, and one of the things I have is a regular, this is a brush I only use for camouflage. That's it. I only use it for camouflage. Once I'm done, I put it away. So it's got an awesome tip to it. This is an OT, and it's a Series 7, of course. Now, with camouflage, again, I'm not painting this for competition. I'm painting this to achieve the look of the camouflage. It's painted to be on the table, so this is a quick and dirty way of doing it and creating the illusion. I'm only going, because of the figures on the table, the distance there, I only paint 2 different shades of this camouflage. And one of the first colors I use is Vallejo Game Model Color German Cam Orange Ochre. This is a great color to use. And for the brown part, I use Game Color Beastie Brown. And what I do with these is that I just kind of think of, I look at pictures, and I've got some MARPAT camouflage, and I just look at it, and to me it kind of looks like pieces from Tetris, the game Tetris. So I just take my paint and my brush, and I just start making little digital kind of lines with it. L shapes, different size L shapes, little dots. So here we go. Got my brush. And again, for this, the dilution of the paint is important. You don't want to put a lot of paint thickness on here, because you do want to show the subtlety of the camouflage. You don't want it just to be really thick. Now, what I'm doing here, let's see if I can focus in. Oops, sorry guys. Ugh, sorry. Hopefully no one has any seizures over this. I'm just applying, like I said, little L shape or zigzag shapes to the pants. And sometimes it's hard to see this color, this ochre color, and that's fine. Again, I'm just trying to give the hint of the color itself on the camouflage. You could see subtle. You could see the little lines here. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking my brush. I'm going to make an L, like just a little L right there. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Nothing really big. The biggest thing though is have a brush that you can control your L's and can control your patterns. Now, the camouflage isn't just an L shape. It's just kind of little squiggly lines. Let's look at the back of this pants here. This pocket here. I'm just going to kind of zigzag a little bit. Now, my paintbrush isn't touching the figure all the way. It's just the tip. Oh, that's funny. Just the tip is lightly touching, so I'm not applying a lot of pressure. And I am kind of speeding this up just for this demo here. There you go. Because when you look at the AOR camo, when you look at the Digi camo, they're not exact shapes. So they're just little lines. So again, the whole idea here is to trick the eye. And you can do that with just nice Tetris type shapes. And then what really happens is when you use the darker brown color, and you'll see that it will pop. Also, with a great brush, you can go back over those L shapes that you've created already. And sometimes I'll just put little dots, just like that. Let's look at the plate carrier here. That's a good example here. See, just like that. And I've got a pair of Desert MARPAT pants that I'm looking at right now beside me. So I'm just looking at the pattern or the non-pattern of it, and it's just the kind of the digital shapes of everything. And I'm using my brush and I'm just creating that illusion. Okay, so now I'm gonna pause, dry this figure, and I'm going to apply the darker Beastie Brown around these areas so you can see how they look together. And then you basically use that whole technique on this entire figure, and that's how you achieve that AOR look. Okay, I am back, and I have the darker brown color, which is again Game Color or Beastie Brown. What I love about Game Color paints is that it's thinner already, and you don't have to apply a lot of other things to dilute it. It's not really thick as Game Color or as Model Color. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. Put a dab of water, mix it up. Okay, so again, this is this AOR camo, and this brown, this darker brown will be either, some of it will be on top of the brown that you've already painted, the ochre color that we've already painted, or it will be on the side of it. So I'm going to take the Beastie Brown. Let's see here. I've got the camera. And I'm just going to reverse L. And it's kind of like that. Oops, sorry. Ugh. Now I'm just kind of putting little dots. And it's not about covering the entire area either. It's just about making those little subtleties, those illusions. Okay, let's go on the plate carrier. Focused on that if we can. Again, they're just little dots. I'll go for another part here. Let's go the back of the pants. See? Sometimes they're just vertical lines, sometimes they're horizontal lines. And I know it may look like shite this close up, but I have to have the camera to show you what I'm painting. And sometimes I'll go over the first color a little bit, and I'll put some little dots there just to, again, create that illusion. Okay, so I'm going to fade out, and you can see the beginnings of what that AOR camo can look like.